Hello everyone, welcome from the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This time we continue looking at some foreign releases, but this time we switch to DVD. We're going to look at something here that does not have an American equivalent, which is pretty cool. Now, as you may recall, the Star Wars films, the original 6 Star Wars films, made their Blu-ray debut pretty much across the world in 2011, and that included new tweaks to the films. So we refer to them as the 2011 cuts of the films. Those are the versions of the films that existed from 2011, basically all the way up until late 2019, when there were further tweaks for eventual 4K release and initially for release through Disney+. Okay, so those are the 2019 cuts, sometimes called the Disney Plus cuts or the McClunky editions. Between there, right, between the initial HD burst in 2011 and those getting superseded by the 2019 cuts through Disney Plus and subsequent releases, there was a period in which, fairly early on, for a couple of years, those cuts, those 2011 cuts, could only be found on Blu-ray. But then in the US at least, that changed. In 2013, we saw the release of a Blu-ray DVD combo pack for each of the 2 trilogies. And each one included the 2011 cuts on Blu-ray, as had been the case for the last couple of years, and on DVD for the first time. That superseded the previous DVD releases that had been reissued over and over and over again since, in the case of the original trilogy, 2004, in the case of the prequel trilogy, since 2001's release of the Phantom Menace. Okay? But you could find the Blu-ray cuts, the 2011 cuts, actually on DVD, not just Blu-ray. And those combo packs were reissued in 2017 as a holiday exclusive at Walmart, one of the many that included, the 7, that included the little Forces of Destiny Volume 1 DVD. But we didn't see any individual releases of the 2011 cuts of episodes 1 through 6 on DVD in the US at all. It was always trilogy packs. That was it. Until late 2019, September 2019, when we got our initial black packaging Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment burst of products, where all the films that had been on home video up to that point, the 10 that had been, got a Blu-ray release, multi-screen edition / digital, etc. release, and a DVD release with new labels and everything. In most regions, that would not come until 2020, which meant that they were the 2019 cuts on DVD. But for us, the ones we got in September of 2019, for at least 1 through 6, those were the 2011 cuts on DVD with new labels, but it was the same DVDs that had been issued in 2013 and reissued in 2017. The 2011 Blu-ray cuts, before the McClunky stuff, before Disney+. But that was the first time it happened. Never under 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment did we ever get the chance to buy the 2011 cuts on DVD for episodes 1 through 6 individually. It took it all jumping over to Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment for us to even have that possibility. And it had its own controversy in and of itself. That was an American thing. You may recall that over in the UK, they actually got some DVD sets, not DVD Blu-ray combo packs, but just DVD sets of both trilogies. We're actually going to look at those again in the near future, because it turns out they had slipcovers that I didn't know existed. In fact, most of the people on the Star Wars Home Video group didn't know existed, and thanks to Jeff Rabjohns, I'm managing to acquire those to be able to show on the show. But that's still trilogy packages. DVD only, different than the US, but still trilogy packages. Well, in 2015, the UK actually saw what we never saw. They saw individual DVD-only releases of the 2011 cuts of the films being released by themselves, one film at a time. And this makes this kind of an unusual run of products that a lot of times is forgotten because so much of Star Wars home video collecting is focused on the US market where these just did not exist. And thanks to another gentleman over in the UK, David Dumbbell, I've managed to get my hands on these, and I wanted to show you all of them now. I know that's a lot of lead up, but it's important to understand the context in which this is being released. It is something that has no US equivalent, is the 2011 cuts, individually, something the US never ever saw, until at least Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment picked them up, but certainly not in their era in 2015. So we're going to take a look at each one. This is the Phantom Menace for 2015, UK DVD only. These are all very minimalist in the style of their covers. It's basically poster art Then you've got Star Wars with the title underneath rather than being kind of built into the same logo or anything like that. And then you just got the ratings, right? In this case, just a UK rating for whatever reason. Spine is going to give us Lucasfilm, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, Star Wars, the name of the film, an image typically taken from the poster. Then you got a product number underneath, the rating, and DVD. And then the back there, text about the film, some images, one central image, and then some images side by side, cast crew information there, information about the Fox website, the UK Fox website, StarWars.com, THX, and all that, some vital stats, your rating with an explanation, Lucasfilm 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, the various symbols and whatnot. This is Region 2 POW, and legalese down there at the bottom. Now, if this back design looks familiar, it's because if you look at the back of, say, the recent 4K release out of the UK, that similar back design in terms of choices of images was then reused by Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment later on subsequent releases starting in 2019. So a decision made by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment in 2015 for the UK had broader ramifications in terms of that artwork or that style of package backing proliferating. This is the newest Black Border Blu-ray out of the UK. Notice there, even some of the choices, but not all the choices of the little bar of pictures is the same. As for the discs themselves, they were basically just that UK equivalent of what the US saw starting in 2013 with reissues of the DVDs, where it's just the black label, it's got Star Wars with the Roman numeral for the episode behind it, the title of the episode, Lucasfilm, region, copy protection, DVD, legalese around the bottom, and the ratings. Notice here, as I almost pull my own hand off there, notice that the ratings on the disc actually include the rating for Ireland, but the packaging, for whatever reason, does not for Phantom Menace. Then we've got Attack of the Clones. Man, I'm just about to drop everything today, aren't I? Attack of the Clones. Similar design. This one does have the Irish rating on it, not just UK. A similar spine design, just with, again, both ratings. And same thing essentially for the back there. This time, again, similar. If you look at the Blu-ray version just recently released in the UK with the black border, the top image isn't the same here, but the images going across the bottom are. There's so much shared design here, which is a little bit, I don't want to say it's entirely surprising, because we're talking about 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment and Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment, which at one point would have been weird to see converging, but this is stuff that was released after the 20th Century Fox and a lot of the other 21st Century Fox entertainment assets were purchased by Disney. So those assets would have come over, including the artwork assets. I'm just a nerd about that sort of thing. And then, again, same disc style here. I'm assuming at this point we do not necessarily need to look at the individual disc labels, so I'll just flash them very quickly here. Revenge of the Sith, again, poster art style. This one, only one rating again, for whatever freaking reason. And then disc-wise, there we go again. Okay? You also had the original trilogy, and these are posters that I believe were originally designed for the special editions back in the day. So not the oldest poster art, like some of the stuff we would see the steelbooks in 2020 from Zavvi based on, but still existing poster art reused here. This one having both sets of ratings. Okay, you may hear my son in the background. My wife is doing a valiant effort of trying to keep him from screaming very much as I'm trying to record here. The Empire Strikes Back. Okay, both ratings. Really like this design. It's so simplistic, and at the same time, you know, kind of set the stage for some of the design stuff we would see later. And then Return of the Jedi here. Okay. This is actually the one I think that initially tipped me off about the similarities of the back design, I think. And there you go. Okay. So whereas the United States in 2015, we, along with most parts of the world, we were getting like the Blu-ray steelbooks of the individual 1 through 6 episodes, or the reissued complete saga with the Vader packaging that only had a Blu-ray version, not a DVD version, that led to the creation of a bunch of DVD bootlegs out there to prey upon those who don't realize it didn't exist officially, and so on and so on. In the UK in 2015, there was actually the ability to get all 6 of Lucas's live-action Star Wars films, theatrical Star Wars films from the US perspective, here on DVD individually, in just a way that they weren't available in the US prior to that. By that point, the US market, for the most part, the thought was, well, if you're going to get any of the Star Wars films, you're going to watch them a trilogy at a time or a saga at a time, not just buy them individually. That is not a mindset that prevailed everywhere, as we see here with these. My thanks to David for helping me acquire these. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.